Good night and welcome to Benalmádena first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week news. Benalmádena City Council announced last week at a press conference that they are preparing the basis of a housing acquisition program with the aim of tackling the social housing deficit suffered by the municipality.
Benalmádena is committed to a new model of city based on a digital transformation and sustainability, but also on social cohesion. To ensure this, City Hall is preparing measures in different areas to help reduce the social gap. The Mayor Víctor Navas, General Administration Councilman Sergio Torralbo, and Social Welfare Councilwoman Alicia Ladaga announced it at a press conference last week. We want to set up a program to attract housing. Our city model for Benalmádena depends not only on mobility and urban space, but also on social cohesion. This cannot exist if access to housing is impossible. As a consequence of the tourist pressure, the rising prices prevent many families from accessing to decent housing. We work on policies to facilitate access to decent housing. This program aims to create a pool of rental housing available to citizens with difficulties accessing a decent home. Navas explained the new program, highlighting that City Hall will be in charge of the rent, with the price per square meter being fixed. To those homeowners who join this program, City Hall will pay rents at a price of €7 per square meter. The administration will commit to pay the monthly rents for 5 years, guaranteeing the supplies and the integrity of the property. During this period, City Hall intends to stockpile enough land to build new social housing so that families can move into these new units in the future. For his part, Torralbo stressed that City Hall will not only pay for the rent, but also for the supply cost. The opening of the period for owners interested in participating to submit their applications would take place during autumn. The owner will have the backing of the local administration, which will guarantee the payment of the rent, thus avoiding any risk of default. City Hall will also guarantee the payment of the utilities, both electricity and water. Finally, he explained what will happen if any action is needed in the property. Municipal technicians will be able to visit the property at any time to check its condition, as the consistory will also assume the commitment that once the rental contract ends, the property will be handed over in the same conditions in which it was given. The rule states that if any owner needs to make essential repairs so that the property is habitable, City Hall will be able to carry them out, charging the cost of these repairs to the monthly rent with a limit of a maximum of 15 monthly payments. Ladaga spoke about the problem and highlighted the value of other measures such as the emergency rental aid. The pandemic has caused many families to see their finances seriously reduced, making it difficult to meet the cost of housing or forcing them into debt. The homes will go to people enrolled in the housing applicants register managed by the municipal company Provice, or to people in a situation of social need duly justified by social welfare technicians. We are also working on a special plan to address the urgency of these situations by increasing emergency aid to help vulnerable people pay their rent.
Security Councilman Javier Marín asked for prudence and caution to our citizens in order to stop the rise in the number of COVID infections in the province. Benalmádena has an incident rate of 902 cases per every 100,000 inhabitants.
Junta de Andalucía called on Wednesday for a curfew between 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. in the Costa del Sol towns of Marbella and Estepona, since both municipalities exceeded the threshold of 1,000 infections per 100,000 inhabitants in the last 14 days. Following the regional government's request, the Superior Court of Justice of Andalucía must decide whether to authorize or deny the application for the nighttime lockdown in the two Costa del Sol towns. With the curfew, Junta seeks to prevent young people from holding botellón, drinking parties, and curbing the number of new infections, which are growing in the population group aged between 15 and 29 years old. Although both municipalities have slightly lowered their cumulative incidence rate, they are still above 1,000 cases per 100,000 population in the last 14 days. Hence, the Public Health Territorial Committee has requested a curfew. The committee is chaired by the Provincial Delegate for Health, Carlos Bautista. Málaga City has narrowly escaped accompanying Marbella and Estepona. It has dropped from 1,000 positives per 100,000 positives in the last 14 days to 949. In Benalmádena, we have an incidence rate of 902, and this week, Security Councilman Javier Marín asked for prudence and caution to our citizens.
Benalmádena tiene una incidencia acumulada por cada 100.000 habitantes de 912 casos.
Benalmádena has a cumulative incidence of 902 cases per 100,000 inhabitants, and that is dangerous. I say this because if we reach 1,000, we will need to make perimeter closures with all that this means for the mobility of people and even for the local economy. This is why we must all continue to work together to avoid continuing with this rise that is occurring day after day, and finally start to put the brakes on and take the initiative to stop the virus. This is done by being very cautious, not being in places with large crowds of people, keeping a safe distance and using masks. Meanwhile, Andalucía has already administered its 10 million doses of a COVID-19 vaccine. Junta's President Juanma Moreno confirmed that 3 out of 4 people in Andalucía over 12 years old have had at least one dose of a vaccine, and said that every vaccine that is given is important. The vaccines, together with the basic rules of mask wearing, maintaining social distancing and frequent hand washing, are the best weapons to combat the advance of the coronavirus, but they do not exempt people from being infected. Spain's Health Secretary of State, Silvia Calzón, reminded on Monday that no vaccine is 100% effective, and there will always be people whose immune system does not have an optimal response. In addition, the Ministry of Health representative also pointed out that as more the population is vaccinated, it will be more frequent to find cases of infections in people who are already immunized, although it seems paradoxical. During Calzón's appearance at a press conference, it was reported that 26 million people in Spain have had the complete coronavirus vaccination schedule, which is 54% of the population. Regarding the possibility of administering a booster dose of a vaccine, she explained that the ministry hopes to gather more scientific evidence before determining the when and to whom it will be administered. She admitted it has been in the scientific debate for months, but that the general trend in most of the countries around us is to wait to gather more scientific evidence before determining who will be vaccinated with booster doses and when.
Over the weekend, we have seen new cases of botellones on our beaches, despite its closure as a sanitary measure. During the operative for the enforcement of the botellón prohibition, there was an arrest that ended with 2 officers injured.
Agents of the local police proceeded in the early hours of Saturday morning to the arrest of the young man after a confrontation during the device for the enforcement of the botellón ban on the beaches of the municipality. The incident occurred at around 2:30 in the morning on Malapesquera Beach and resulted in 2 officers being slightly injured. Several patrol cars of the local police went to break up groups of young people who were drinking. On the arrival, the officers were rebuked But the reaction of one of the youth was particularly aggressive, throwing stones at the police vehicles, although they did not hit them. When the officers approached him for identification, the young man reacted aggressively, pushing one of the officers, causing him to fall on a construction site, resulting in a cut on his right hand and required 2 stitches. During the confrontation, another officer was slightly injured as a result of a fall, but did not require medical intervention. After the action, the young man fled, running towards Avenida Antonio Machado, where he was finally intercepted and arrested by the officers. Since last Thursday, July 22, City Hall closed the beaches of the municipality at night from 11 to 7 in the morning, a health security measure in view of the high incidence of the pandemic throughout the Costa del Sol. Safety Councilman Javier Marín spoke with us this week at the local police headquarters to denounce the high amount of waste left on the beaches by botellones, which generate a risk to the population. In Benalmádena, we are not going to tolerate this type of behavior. The closure of the beaches responds to compliance with health regulations following the recommendations made by Junta de Andalucía in order to minimize the risk of new infections by COVID. We do not want this type of vandalism and uncivic behavior to have a place in the city, and they will be prosecuted and punished by the local police. During the last few days, we are having serious difficulties on our beaches at night, and not only because of the practice of botellón, but also because of the damage to street and beach furniture. Rare is the night when we don't wake up to graffiti on the beach modules, broken locks, or smashed toilets. The councilman reminded the public that botellón is a prohibited activity in the municipal ordinances, with penalties of €750. Marín wanted to stress the gratitude and absolute support of the government team to the local police officers and their work, and sent a message of caution to the public. We are going to ask the Subdelegación del Gobierno for more national police to deal with the proliferation of this practice on the beaches of Benalmádena. The botellón is a prohibited activity in the municipal ordinances with sanctions of €750. We want to show the absolute support of the government team to the local officers and thank them for their work, which is providing essential during the pandemic, in which they have once again demonstrated their excellence and vocation for public service.
Arroyo de la Miel Sports Center, that hosts some of the summer camps in the municipality, received the visit of the mayor and the sports councilman this week. Navas took the opportunity to announce that the floor of the pavilion is going to be changed.
We are already finishing July, and as every year, our municipality is full of sporting activity during the summer season thanks to the several municipal camps. Last week, Benalmádena's mayor, Víctor Navas, and the sports councilman, Joaquín Villazón, visit Arroyo de la Miel Sports Center to meet with the members of the CAO and the basketball technification camps. After taking the traditional photo and chatting with attendees and monitors, Navas stressed the importance of this type of activities for family conciliation and announced that the sports center floor is going to be changed.
Benalmádena tiene una amplia oferta.
Benalmádena has a wide range of summer camps for all tastes and ages, covering sports and all kinds of recreational and sporting activities, which are an essential support for those parents who work during the summer and need a place to leave their children during the months when there is no school year. There are more than 400 children currently participating in the summer camps organized by the town hall, facilitating family conciliation. We are also informing those responsible for the summer camps about the improvements that we are going to make to the sports hall in the near future with a complete renovation of the floor. For his part, Villazón highlighted the value of these visits to the camps to see how they are going and explained that they are studying how the activities will be programmed while the floor is being renovated. He also stressed that they are trying to be careful with the health situation, which is another important factor this year, and asked for patience with regard to the deadlines.
Estamos visitando los dos campamentos que se celebran normalmente todos los años, que es el CAO.
Currently, the sports center at Arroyo de la Miel hosts the El Cao and basketball technification camps, and we've visited both to check how they are working and to visit the facilities of the pavilion, whose floor we hope to start renovating next August. We are looking at how we can adjust the various sport activities that this infrastructure hosts from August until mid-September, which is the period we expect the work to last, as well as keeping an eye on the evolution of the pandemic to determine how it might affect our sport program.
The participatory budgets are once again proving their success, and on this occasion have led to the creation of an skate and skate surf workshop in the Innova building, which are proving to be a great success among our neighbors.
If the Innova building was already the home of our skater community, thanks to its incredible facilities, now it is also the school for all those who want to enter this world, thanks to the workshops created to meet one of the initiatives approved by the participatory budget. One of the most voted projects called for skate and skate surf workshops, which are now a reality. We visited them this week and took the opportunity to talk to Youth Councilwoman María Isabel Ruiz, Citizen Participation Councilman Pablo Centella, and the instructor Johnny Cadenas. Ruiz highlighted the success of the workshops and thanked Participación Ciudadana for the initiative and praised the work of the monitors. Today we can see the great success of the skate and skate surf workshops held at the Innova Skate Park. We want to thank Citizen Participation for having made them possible after they were chosen as part of the participatory budgets. Innova is the jewel of the youth department, and we hope to expand it soon by adding a small part to its facilities. As you can see today, their activities are a success and gain participants every day. Without the instructors' great contribution, it would not be possible to organize this, as they are people who know the facilities and the dynamics of the Innova very well, and they are the soul and essence of the workshops. For his part, Centella was very satisfied with this initiative, emphasizing the increase in the participatory budget, which is expected to continue to grow in the coming years. We are very pleased to see that the projects chosen as part of the participatory budget are successfully implemented. These workshops are based on a proposal from the young people themselves who wanted to receive skate and surf skate lessons, workshops, and also address other interesting aspects related to sport, such as nutrition. The participatory budgets promoted by this government team are here to stay, and in this second edition, the budget has been increased by 100,000 euros, and in future editions we will certainly continue to increase the amount dedicated to them. We also took advantage of the visit to talk to one of the monitors, known to all as Johnny Cadenas, who explained to us what skate surfing is all about. There are many people who came wanting to participate, many young people, but also of all ages. The good thing about this sport is that it is not as harmful as others. It is gentler. Surf skate is simpler than the traditional skate. It works with a front axle that rotates, simulating a surfboard. And the truth is that surf lovers are usually also fond on this discipline because we practice their techniques and movements, but on dry land. He also highlighted the success of participation in the activity with a waiting list. When we launched the Youth Participation Initiative, the idea was quite good. In surf skate, around 30 people have signed up, leaving out quite a few, and in skate, around 15. In this second edition, a lot of people have signed up. We will organize the activity again at the beginning of September, and in the months of October and November, we will be there on weekends.
And these are today's headlines. New program to create social housing. Marín asks for caution to fight coronavirus. local police operative against botellones. Navas and Villazón visit the summer camps. Skateboarding for all ages at the Innova building. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with slightly cloudy or clear skies, maximum temperatures will drop considerably inland, rising on the coast, and minimum temperatures unchanged or falling inland, westerly winds increasing. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profile on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.